Initiating boosters in 3, 2, 1. Game on!
Hello everyone, I am SoliSolrac and today we're going to be covering Overwatch 2 Season 15 Hero Perks. Before the video starts, I would just like to mention if you guys like this, leave a like, subscribe, and a comment stating if you would like to see any more videos. The way this is going to be working out is I'm going to be separating the hero perks into 3 different videos, each being correlated to its role. I'm going to be starting out with tanks, later on damage, and after that support. Before I get onto the perks, I would like to mention a few keynotes of the perks. First being perks stay after death, so you don't have to worry about dying a lot. No matter what, it'll keep going. Secondly, I would like to say perks reset between rounds. After one round ends, you're gonna have to start all over in the next round, which is pretty good because if you didn't like a perk set in the first round, you could change it up for the second one. You could make yourself unpredictable to the enemy. Third thing being perks reset after swapping heroes. This encourages people to swap less. It also encourages people to not counter swap because you lose your perk progression. Or 4, I lost count. 4 being there are 3 levels to each hero, 1 being the base default level in which you spawn in, level 2 being minor perks, and level 3 being major perks. Aside from the base default level, the way I'm going to be talking about this is minor perks, I'm going to be calling them tier 1, and major perks, which I'm going to be labeling them as tier 2. Tier 1 perks, they tend to be lighter upgrades such as a small passive or a cooldown reduction. And for major perks, which I'm going to be calling tier 2, they're going to be gameplay shifting changes that redefine what your hero is capable of. So like I mentioned before, I'm going to be covering the DPS role. Starting with Ashe. For her tier 1, you can choose either between Rapid Fire, which grants unscoped shots gaining 30% increased attack speed but deal 15% less damage. You can choose that, or Sidewinder. Coach Gun pushes Ashe and enemies 20% farther. For her tier 2, we have Viper Sting. Hitting 2 consecutive scope shots on a target deals 25 extra damage and reloads 2 ammo. Choose that or Airburst. Dynamite has a 40% increased detonation radius while airborne and refunds 3 ammo when thrown. Moving on to Bastion, his tier 1, we have Smart Bomb. A36 tactical grenades, self knockback is increased by 25% and no longer damages you. We also have Armored Artillery. In configuration mode, artillery grants 300 temporary overhealth. Now moving on to tier 2, we have Lindholm Explosive. During his configuration form, Assault's weapon slowly fires explosive shells instead of a rotary cannon. We also have Self-Repair. If anyone's here from Overwatch 1, you remember how he had the ability to self-heal by pressing E to rapidly heal yourself. Cassidy. In his tier 1, we have Quick Draw. Fan the hammer shots are individually controlled and can crit 50% more damage. We also have Past Noon. Deadeye refunds 30% ultimate charge if it fully expires. For his tier 2, we have Gunslinging. Critical hits with primary fire reduce the cooldown of combat roll by 3 seconds. And we also have Bang Bang. Cassidy throws a second flashbang that travels farther, but both flashbangs deal 30% reduction damage. Not too bad, you get 2 of them, but at the cost of less damage, as stated. Moving on to Echo, for her tier 1, we have Friendly Imaging. Duplicate can also target allies, and we have Enhanced Duplication. During Duplicate, your clone's first ultimate extends Duplicate's duration by 3 seconds. And for her tier 2, we have Full Salvo. Sticky bombs fire 50% more projectiles, but all sticky bombs deal 15% less damage. You can choose that or High Beams. Focusing beam eliminations reset flight cooldown. Now moving on to Frel, which will be coming out in Season 16, not in Season 15. For her tier 1, we have Tracking Bolts. Enemies hit by 3 regular bolts in quick succession are revealed for 4 seconds. And we have Bounty Collection. Eliminations grant 2% ult charge while killing blows grant 4%. For her tier 2, we have Ready to Hunt. Updraft grants temporary free use of Quick Dash. And we also have Jobs Done, which after getting killing blows on 5 unique enemy players permanently reduces the cooldown of Take Aim by 20%. With Genji, for his tier 1 acrobatics, Swift Strike resets double jump. And we also have Dragon's Thirst. Dragon Blade swings gain 30% lifesteal. For his tier 2, we have Blade Twisting. Swift Strike deals 25 additional damage over time when used shortly after an elimination. And we also have Meditation. Regenerates 25 health per second while Deflect is active. And for Hanzo, In his tier 1 we have Sonic Disruption. Sonic Arrow hacks nearby health packs for 12 seconds. And we have Scatter Arrows. Storm Arrows split into 3 new projectiles on their first ricochet and bounce 2 extra times. For tier 2 we have Dragon Fury. After hitting an enemy with primary fire, gain 25% attack speed for 1 second. We also have Yamagami Technique. While climb accelerates your lunge cooldown by 250%. Now for Junkrat, for his tier 1 we have Aluminum Frame. Steel Trap's throw range is increased by 50%, as well as Nitro Boost. During Rip Tire, use L Shift to gain a quick boost of speed. Doing so reduces Rip Tire's damage by 50%. And for his tier 2 we have Frag Cannon. Frag Launcher's projectile speed is increased by 40%. Its max ammo is reduced by 1. As well as TikTok. No, not the app. Concussive Mine arms 0.5 seconds after landing, increasing damage by 50%, explosion radius by 50%, and health by 200%. Moving on to Mei, for her tier 1 we have Chilling Reach. Primary fire range is increased by 30%, and we also have Permafrost. Ice Wall's duration and cooldown are increased by 2 seconds. And for her tier 2 we have Fighting Code. Secondary fire hits slow enemies by 15% or 1.5 seconds, stacking up to 30%. As well as Cryo Freeze. Slows and deals 70 damage per second to nearby enemies. Now with Pharah, for her tier 1 we have Drift Thrusters. Pharah can move while Barrage is active, and we also have Helix Shields. Convert 75 health to shield. Tier 2 we have Concussive Implosion. Concussive Blast knockback is inverted to a pull in. Fuel Stores. Jet Dash grants 50% fuel. Maximum overfuel is increased by 100%. With Reaper, for his tier 1 we have Death Shadows. Shadow Step reloads Hellfire shotguns and has 25% increased range. Choose that or Soul Reaving. Collect soul globes from dead enemies to restore 50 health. For his tier 2 we have Dire Triggers. Use right click to fire a volley with long range accuracy from both Hellfire shotguns. Choose that or Ravenous Wraith. Living Wraith form grants 40% additional life steal for 3 seconds. Moving on to Sojourn, for her tier 1 we have Extended Mag. Maximum ammo increased by 15. We also have Overcharge, which grants railgun's maximum energy is increased by 50 while Overclock is active. For her tier 2 we have Dual Thrusters. Power Slide gains an additional charge and its jump height shift to lateral movement. We also have Adhesive Siphon. Disruptor Shot can stick to enemies and generates railgun energy when dealing damage. For Soldier 76, for his tier 1 we have Recycled Pulse Munitions. Helix Rocket reloads 15 ammo if they damage an enemy. We also have Field Emergency. Biotic field healing is increased by 100% on critical health allies. For his tier 2 we have Agility Training. Sprint speed is increased by 20% and reload can be performed while sprinting is active. You can either choose that or Stim Pack. Biotic field can be used as a Stim Pack, increasing attack speed and reload speed by 30% while being unhealable for 4 seconds. Now for Sombra, for her tier 1 we have Viral Efficacy. Virus's cooldown is reduced by 3 seconds when an enemy affected by the virus is eliminated. We also have Control Alt Escape. Teleporting with Translocator while critical health initiates passive health regeneration. For her tier 2 we have White Hat. That can be used on allies to restore 100 health over 2 seconds. And you can choose either that or Stack Overflow. Axe Silence duration is increased by 100, but its range is decreased by 30%. For Symmetra, for her tier 1, we have Sentry Capacity. Sentry Turrets gains an additional charge. And we also have Advanced Teleportation. Teleporter's range is increased by 50%. And for her tier 2, we have Perfect Alignment. Primary Fire's range is increased by 15% with each additional charge level. And we have Shield Battery. Symmetra regenerates 20 shield per second while within 10 meters of her teleporter. For Torbjorn, his tier 1, you can either choose between Craftsman. Forge Hammer can restore armor health to allies. Turret Repair heal is increased by 25%. And for his tier 2 we have Anchor Bolts. Deployed turret range throw is increased by 50% and can be now attached to walls and ceilings. We also have Overloaded Turret. Overload upgrades your turret for 5 seconds, increasing its health and damage. With Tracer, her tier 1, you can either choose between Blink Packs. Health Pack restore 1 blink charge, or Blast from the Past. Pulse Bomb's radius is increased by 50%. Now moving on to tier 2, we have Flashback. Recall restores all blink charges, and Quantum Entanglement. Recall grants 50 over health that decay over time. Now moving on to Venture, tier 1, we have Seismic Sense, while Underground Venture can sense enemies within 25 meters. And we also have Excavation Exhilaration, while Titanic Shock is active, cooldowns refresh 300 times faster. Now for tier 2, we have Smart R Excavator. Smart Excavator's range is increased by 25%. And we also have Covered in Dirt. Dealing damage with Clobber grants up to 30 Explorer's Resolve Shield. Now lastly but not least, we have Widowmaker. For her tier 1, we have Scope Deficiency. Scope shots cost 3 ammo instead of 5, or you can choose Focused Aim. Scope shots charge 50% faster during Infrasight. And for her tier 2, we have Escape Plan. Scope shot hits reduce grappling hook cooldown up to 4 seconds. And lastly but not least, we have Deadly Duh. Hey, that's how Google said it sounded, so that's how I'm saying it. Venom Mine gain 50% increased damage and a second charge, enabling 2 active mines at a time. And with that being said, that concludes the DPS hero perks. If you managed to stay this long, thank you for watching the video. Let me know what you guys think on these hero perks coming to the game in Season 15. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, a comment stating what perks you like, what perks you don't like. Leave a like if you guys do like this video. If you guys end up liking this, I can try to post more. If you guys haven't seen already, the tank hero perks, that's going to be down in the description. I would also like to say that I do tend to post more gameplay. This is the first time I'm ever, well, second time now, that I've posted a video like this. So any support is more than welcome, but stay tuned for the support perks, which will be coming in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Scope shots charge 50% after during Infrasight. Basically during her ult. I'm having trouble saying the word. Moving on to Freya. I'm moving on to Freya. And we have lastly but not least, Deadly, how do you say that word? What the heck? Scope shot hits